Hello everyone and welcome to the home of one of the most famous Moreton Bay Figs in the city of Sydney. We're talking about North Sydney Oval, home also of the mighty Bears after 7 complete rounds, undefeated at the top of the Winfield Cup table. Another packed house in, and North Sydney with a lineup that's been virtually unchanged for a long time. Sears, Hall, Toshak, Caruana, Hoppy, Florimo, Taylor the backs, Moore, Fairley, Larson, Fennick, Ray the captain, Jones the forwards, the coach and a successful one to date, Peter Louis. Up against a tough pack today, North Sydney, O'Davis, Ainscoe, Barnes, Wire, Godden, the two Johns brothers, Matthew and Andrew, linking up for the Knights, Glanville, Muir, Butterfield, Harrigan, McCormick, Sargent the captain. It is a big pack from Newcastle. The coach is David Waite. Referee for this one is Mr. Greg McCallum. As I said, a packed house here at North Sydney Oval. Probably around 18,000. 7 wins on the trot for the Bears after the signing of this man who has been most important, Jason Taylor, to wear the number 7, the halfback role. Are they that much closer to their first loss of the season? O'Davis getting it away to Glanville. Plenty of players in this one also trying to continue to impress representative selectors with the City Country Origin match to be picked tonight, and also that with a view ahead to the big one, the State of Origin. Like this man, Harrigan, who wrestles with 3 of them. Fennick down low, Tony Ray over the top. Sargent, another who has tasted representation, former Kangaroo tourist. Good clear running from Adam Muir. Peter Jackson, very warm one in Sydney.
Yeah, extremely warm, Graham. Actually, the forecast was over 30 degrees. There's been a little bit of cloud cover in the last 10 minutes. You see Greg McCallum catching Norse up inside the 10. A little bit of cloud cover in the last 10 minutes has cooled things down a little bit. There's no breeze at all. A perfect condition. It's going to be a rough one. Let's get ready to rumble.
Need I ask you who's going to get home in this one?
I'm going to tip the Bears, but I can tell you what, Newcastle, out of all the teams, they really worry me. One thing, because they've got a really fierce, tough, competitive pack. Norse have got to weather the storm for the first 10 minutes.
Sargent gets ready to rumble as they go inside the 20. Followed by his partner in crime, Harrigan, who launched himself. Gets to about 6 metres out, right in front of the posts. Slow play the ball. Newcastle didn't want that. North did. Glanville bounced one out of the way. He put down big Gavin Jones. Now they go to the back line. Matthew Johns back on the inside for Harrigan. So the big men working overtime already, Sargent and Harrigan. Again, the Johns brothers to the back line. Great ball up, but only as far as Matt Toshak. Andrew Johns took the chance. The call on the outside was from a Bear opponent. Great skills, this young man.
It was great skills, Graham. We've already seen the 2 Johns boys involving themselves heavily in the game already, along with the 2 front rowers, Sargent and Harrigan.
Now, what a mistake. 12 metres out. Florimo coughs it up. Shake of the head. Was there some hands in there? Sargent looked to be trying his best. Well, there was a boot there from Newcastle that just kicked it out. So that's a tough call against North. The Knights will have possession. They go blindside. Matthew Johns trapped. 12 metres out. Tons of pressure early on. Butterfield ends up 5 metres away. Wide once more. Trying to spread it and catch them out on the fringe. Sargent back up the middle. Trying everything, Newcastle. Fennick back on the inside, saves it. Kicked ahead. Last tackle, they still have it. Inches away. Adam Muir loses it. North's come up with it. Handover. Hoppy will play it 9 metres out.
Well, Graham, North's under plenty of pressure here, but they've been up to it in the defence. Now they've got the opportunity to clear the ball away. But I'm looking forward to the clash between Fennick and Harrigan. Those 2 players have probably been warned more than any other 2 players in the Winfield Cup for high tackling. So see how they go in this game today.
Well, Harrigan gets more than just a warning here about trying to steal the ball from McCallum. Involved in the tackle with Adam Muir. And Harrigan was just trying to tear the ball out of there. Billy Moore says, thanks very much, we'll pick up some metres. Billy Moore today for North Sydney, playing his 100th game for the club. Gavin Jones, his 150th. Taylor now looking to Fairley. Outstanding year, 94 so far for Fairley. Jones over halfway, straight into Butterfield. Strong defence and a strong surge as well. Now Taylor looking back on the inside, forced to go back outside, punished by Sargent. Fairley again gets involved. Florimo thought about it. Now he gets a good ball back for Fairley. Good support. Last tackle against the Bears. First time on foreign territory. Down the other end. Taylor looking out wide for Hoppy. Just a little gentle push in the back. But McCallum's not going to let that one slip by. Toshak had both his hands, giving an opponent just a gentle shove.
Yeah, well, this probably spoiled a pretty good set of 6 tackles from North Sydney. Got out of their own area very well, but Toshak pushing there, really giving away any chance that Hoppy had of scoring a try, which I think he would have.
Penalties favour the Knights 2-1. Sargent. You want to talk about the fortunes of Newcastle. They rely so heavily on how much territory these two, Sargent and Harrigan, can gain up the middle. McCormick.
Really, Graham, I think that Fennick has been riding roughshod over most of the front rows in the game. He's got to really get stuck into that bloke there with the ball now. Just as he's doing, he's got to trail him, shadow him, and really give him his money's worth.
There might have been a few words exchanged there, down deep amongst all of that as well. Butterfield just outside the 20 on the last. Andrew Johns, cross-kicking. Now they're offside, Ainscough in particular. 2 and 3 Newcastle. Players I thought were well and truly offside. Now he hasn't got them from being in front of the kicker, though. They came from behind McCallum, and they stole a few metres.
Well, I think this was bad refereeing because McCallum missed this altogether. He missed the original offence. Sure, he's picked him up for being offside there, but...
Wasn't sure for the ruling there that he got him for. It looked as though it might have come off a North Sydney player.
Well, it could have ended up much worse anyway for North Sydney.
In the end, I think there was a bit of justice, though. Taylor. Fairley. Sitting it up for Fennick. He thought about it. Put down quickly by Andrew Johns. Larson. Numbers here for Norths. Huge numbers. Florimo kicks clear. Back on the inside. There's support. Sears couldn't find it. And again, it's for somebody being offside. And I also think you'll find a touch judge is involved, because he'll pick up a Newcastle player for holding somebody back, and now McCallum has walked them an extra 10 anyway.
Well, Newcastle have been a good... This was a great break here from Florimo, with players holding back. Just out of picture there, North Sydney player held back. But discipline has let the Newcastle Knights down time and time again in recent years, and unfortunately it could be the undoing of them today if they're not careful.
Sargent was called up. That warning was given to Brad Godden about holding somebody back out of play, and Taylor will have a look at it.
Already, Graham, though, North Sydney prepared to move the ball. They're shifting the ball, passing it through the hands, getting out of their own area.
I think we're going to see the big contrast, Jacko, already about Newcastle trying to power up the middle and North's trying to get it wide.
Well, unusual for North to spread it wide on their own line, but one thing that's changed in the last couple of years at North Sydney, if you do see an opportunity, Peter Louis gives the players the latitude to hit it, and Gary Larson saw they were a bit short on the left, moved it to Greg Florimo, who made a great break.
Taylor with this one from about 37 metres out. .27 from 38 so far this season for Jason Taylor. 23 years of age, the development officer from the Bears, with a percentage rate of around 71. Tries to bang it straight down the middle, sends it just wide. Ainscough Away from one, chased by Hop. He's shown the sideline and tied it up nicely. No score, the Bears and the Knights. Oh, Davis, nowhere to go for him. Quickly taken by Florimo. Sargent. Glanville. Talk about the Bears being on top of the Winfield Cup, 7 straight wins. Only 3 wins for Newcastle, although they have won back-to-back in the past 2 weeks. It is vital for them to win today. They've got to stay in touch, especially after Manly got home yesterday against Penrith. Shears bringing the ball back confidently. Larson. Pushed sideways by Harrigan, who ends up getting a facial from Caruana. Tony Ray straight down the middle for about 6 or 7 metres. Caruana. Beautiful low tackle from Butterfield, right in the centre of the ground, the cricket pitch area. Florimo. Good quick hands. Bit of a struggle out wide. That's where they're starting to stretch them. Last tackle against Norths, who have a big back line out wide, and Taylor's going to put the kick up to terrorise Godden, who did well. Looking back towards his own line. Not an easy thing to do when you know the opposition's bearing down. Awful mistake. North Sydney have it. Nathan Barnes just left it there in the play the ball. Now Fennick. Some urgency now for the Newcastle defence. As the Bears go up a gear. Larson. Massive tackle. Great tackle from Sargent. Taylor. Decoy runners are plenty as he brings in Billy Moore. Moore over the top for, I think it's Toshak. And how many times does it happen? You know you're up against a good side. When you make a mistake in your own territory, the good ones will make you pay.
Well, to win the premiership, you've got to be able to capitalise on mistakes. This is what Jason Taylor's done here. A great ball out to Billy Moore, who hit the gap strongly. An overhead basketball pass out there to Toshak, and he had the strength to score the try.
Yeah, great set play here by North Sydney. A few decoy runners. Jason Taylor holds up the pass. Now Russell Wyatt comes up with a bad miss on Billy Moore. That was the crucial missed tackle. Billy Moore, smart play over the top. Matt Toshak goes in for another try.
Toshak goes in for his 4th try of 1994. One of many good young backs now in this North Sydney side, 21 years of age. Quite a gamble they took for the poker machine assistant who come up with it.
Well, I really can't understand Newcastle's tactics already. I know they've got big, strong forwards, but North Sydney are a good defensive side. The Newcastle Knights are just running straight at the defensive players, not using the ball at all.
Down to 69%. Unsuccessful with his first attempt today, Taylor. As far out as you can get on the sideline. Around on the breeze. Brilliant. Magnificent from Taylor. The Bears 6-0. Newcastle had some early run of play in this one, but they have been hurt by North Sydney, who took their first chance down at the other end. Lion Red Aussie League on 2. Hope you're enjoying this match of the round. 6-0 Norths. Hoppy, well and truly off his wing to go looking for it midfield. Gavin Jones. Quickly put down by Matthew Johns. Fennick throws a dummy. Now there was another player held back there. Billy Moore was pulled back by Nathan Barnes. Had hold of his jumper. Have a look for yourself.
Well, I don't know what the linesman was looking at. He should have been able to see that if the referee couldn't. Should have been a penalty to North Sydney.
Fennick's pass was well and truly astray. Glanville. Forward pass in there. Call came from a touch judge on this one from McCormick.
Well, that's thrown forward.
So often you see it. And the two-way communication coming from the top of the touch judge's flag. Florimo to Caruana. Back to Florimo. A little bit of a jink. Went under some heavy punishment in the end. No fullback at home. O'Davis in the line for Newcastle. Nobody's back. Somebody's going to have to get back there. O'Davis is screaming for somebody to get back in cover. Now he tries to rush back himself. Taylor on a run around. Bringing in an extra man for Caruana to set it up for David Hall. Caruana caught from behind. Good communication between O'Davis and Barnes, but will they still survive yet? Taylor. Push back up the middle. Last tackle. Great escape if they get out of this one, the Knights. Taylor bombing. It's going to fall right near the line. Fairley has it. Hoppy has it. Was it knocked forward? Try number 2. The Knights players all looked up. They felt that Hoppy only ended up with it after it went forward, but this was the lead-up.
Well, a great breakdown here by Caruana. A good, strong break, but great defensive play also from the chasers of Newcastle. But after that, it was good, quick play. The balls, that's what carried on. Taylor got himself in position to put up a good bomb. Everyone was onside. We had David Fairley charging through on it, able to get up first. Hoppy's waiting back for the ball in position. Comes up with a good try.
Looked forward, looked as though he might have knocked it forward, Jacko.
Yeah, it's a great bomb by Jason Taylor. We've become used to him putting up great kicks. Now have a look at it. Very hard to tell from that angle. Yeah, off the hand of David Fairley.
Looks as though he knocked it forward to Hoppy. The Knights had plenty to say about it.
Thing was, it was right in front of the in-goal touch judge, so why didn't he say something about it?
23 years of age, the man headed for the Warriors. 5 tries in '94, and the leading try scorer for North Sydney. Taylor. Surprisingly misses. 10-0 though, North Sydney. So quick tries coming for the Bears. Again, another look at it. Now, Fairley didn't have it at first, but from there, to me, it goes forward.
Well, to me, it was a line ball. Sideways, maybe. Thing is, it's on the points. It's on the board.
Well, what about from an old bear, even having another look at it, Jacko?
Yeah, I've got to go along with you, Graham. I think that was definitely offside. No try. Too late now. It's fish and chips.
On the 20. Tony Ray right up the middle. Gets it out to the 30. Who wants it? Luckily off the legs of Larson. Fennick. Head down. Nearly set it up for Florimo on his outside. Lack of communication here from someone, but luckily they ended up with it before. Those 2 tries for Norths came in just 5 minutes. Taylor going deep. Davis reads the angle. Perfectly positioned. Flying start for the team on the top of the Winfield Cup table. Ainscough. That tackle was needed from Fennick. He was clear down to the fullback. Lanville with a step. That's too soft up the middle. Newcastle coming back. They'll get 6 more. The Bears coming apart up the middle where they are normally so strong. Sargent goes back up there. Mind you, the hot one this afternoon in Sydney will test all these forwards out with their condition. McCormick. Matthew Johns. Dummies. No, he doesn't. He stays inside. Muir got it back. Now Davis. What a great chip. Talk about quick thinking. There was no one home up the middle for about 2 or 3 plays, and there's no one home in cover. Brilliant from Davis, and what a great reply.
It was a great reply. North's pivot defenders have been wanting the last 4 or 5 tackles, but this was just straight individual brilliance from Davis. A good kick and a good try.
Well, I'll tell you why he's so brilliant, Graham Lowe. He's a Queenslander. You watch this beautiful little chip kick. This is smart thinking. This guy, he's got it all. He's a star of the future. If he can keep his head on his shoulders, he'll wear that #1 jersey for the Maroons. Don't worry about that.
Great pace to get to it. Davis, 21 years of age, picks up his first try of the season. He flew through to catch them napping. But prior to all of that, I mean, North Sydney.
Well, their pivot marker defence has been disgraceful. No markers whatsoever, and the defenders either side of the ruck have really been standing with their hands on their hips.
Might have been the worst thing that could have happened to them. 2 quick tries. I think they just started to relax. Young Andrew Jones. They are closer. The Bears still have it, but just 10-6.
Stores.
North Sydney on top of the Winfield Cup table. They had a great start to this game. 2 tries in 5 minutes that set up a 10-0 lead. Now Newcastle well and truly back into it. And the Bears have made a change with Josh Stewart out there. Gavin Jones back to the bench. And I think that was a quick reply from the North Sydney coach about some sloppy play up the middle, Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Josh Stewart, a renowned defender, and Gavin Jones, you know, he's a big guy, Gavin. He's 30 years of age, and he's puffing and panting a little bit. Perhaps Peter Louis just wanted to tighten it up a little.
A little bit of relief for the players as the cloud cover shuts that sun away, but it is extremely hot in Sydney. Johns in behind the line for Barnes to rush through. Everybody shepherds the ball out over the sideline. 22 minutes gone. The Bears a little bit more concerned after that brilliant beginning.
Well, the main problem they've got at the moment is just around that play, the ball area. They've just got to tighten up. The pivot defenders get in closer and stop leaving that big hole right behind the play of the ball.
It's interesting the way some teams seem to have the wood on the others, and Newcastle are relatively still newcomer in the Winfield Cup. These 2 teams have met 10 times. Newcastle, I should say, winning 6-4. Scrums just to the Bears. 2 runners. Billy Moore shrugs off 1, then 2. Unloads to Taylor. Swinging arm. No doubt about Greg McCallum having something to say. Adam Muir called over. Lucky he ducked.
Lucky he's ducked all right.
Taylor.
That is the sort of play, though, that lets Newcastle down there. They're a good football side, but they let themselves down with lack of discipline.
Fennick. Crowd not happy that Newcastle seemingly were well and truly up inside the 10 metres from that restart. Stewart gets a taste of the action with the ball. Taylor, plenty of runners. Inside goes Florimo. Comes to a dead end at the hands of Butterfield and also Sargent. Taylor trying to step his way through, but not through big Paul Harrigan. Larson. Interesting to see how well they get to the line at the finish of the match. Newcastle's big men. Taylor, another great bomb right near the line. Stood his ground beautifully, Davis. Peter Jackson suggested he's got to keep his head. Well, he certainly did that there. Ainscough.
Well, he certainly did keep his head here. Took it well, but then he attacked straight out and he gave them a quick 20 metres. Good play from Davis.
He's turned it around for them. Now they're nearly back out to halfway already. Fighting for every inch, Newcastle. Overall possession favours the Knights. And in the opposition half, they have it there as well. They do not have the all-important scoreline, though. Matthew Johns. 45 away, and they're on the last tackle, Newcastle. Andrew Johns trying to get it away from Sears. Breaking well away for Hoppy, one-on-one. Good defence from Ainscough, gets assistance from Russell Wyatt. Toshak. No doubt about that Newcastle have picked their game up and their intensity.
They have, and I think they've got two very good halves. That's the key. The two Johns boys, the halfback and 5'8", they're driving these big Newcastle forwards and picking their opportunities when they want to have a dab themselves.
Florimo, that was line ball out to Caruana. Handling errors are all square. Taylor cutting men out beautifully, fairly on the fringe. A good ball put up for Billy Moore. Very quick play of the ball. Taylor on a run around, decides to chance his arm on the last. Toshak doesn't, goes to the in goal. Davis tries to cover this one up, just too strong. Terrific pace in this game, and the heat is taking its toll. Number of players now really trying to dig deep. Godden understands that his forwards are under enormous pressure. He comes in for some work. Butterfield. That's thrown forward again. Now, I had my eye on the touch judge, who was calling to McCallum that it was thrown forward. McCallum overruled him. And he overruled him wrongly.
Well, he's the sole judge, so he's got the opportunity to do that.
Now McCormick loses it, and Norse will get it back through the scrum feed. In fact, he's given it to Newcastle. Fennick it was who touched it and knocked it on himself. .32 away, the Knights. They want their try number 2, Glanville. 10-6, the Bears. Muir. Right on the 20. About 12 or 13 minutes from half-time. Matthew Johns to Sargent. The ball was there and the chance was there, but it just went forward. Sargent just couldn't get a clean one up. They were in behind the line with another chance, Newcastle.
It was good play from Sargent. Big, strong fella. Able to free his arms here, but he just couldn't get the ball up properly. If it was shut the gate. A try on all the way.
Started to fall away a bit, the Bears, Jacko.
Yeah, they have. They've dropped a little bit of intensity, but this bloke here is causing him all sorts of trouble. Chris Caruana, I think if they're going to get through the Newcastle line, they've got to go to their centres. David Fairley, it looks like he's in a bit of trouble. He'll be coming off, and Craig Wilson will be replacing him.
Ball is lost. There's going to be tons and tons of pressure after this scrum. Now, there could be a change to those plans for North, because Caruana's in trouble too. A trainer says to Fairley to go back into the pack. He was leaving the field. They're trying to work it out with the coaching staff, so Craig Wilson goes back to the bench for the time being. As Newcastle again go on attack. Glanville back to McCormick. Ducks under some tackles right on the 20. Butterfield. Now he unloads for Barnes to go inside the 10. Very wide. The Johns brothers get together. Muir got rid of one. Stands in a second. Can't unload. Stretched to the limit, North Sydney. Matthew Johns trying to step and weave right up the middle. Last tackle. The Bears hanging on. McCormick to the in goal. 2 kicks, 2 tries. combination. Didn't have to travel too far to score this one, but don't deny there's a touch of class in it.
Well, it was good thinking because he held the ball out in front of him, wrong-footed the North Sydney defence for a minute. He had him nonplussed, and then we had Russell Wire coming in from an onside position scoring the try.
Yeah, Robbie McCormack, I didn't know he had this skill in his book, but he puts a dribbler through. Matty Sears found wanting in the marker area. The Knights back in front. Oh, back up, all tied up here.
Got it locked up. 22 years of age. Wire grabs his 4th try this year. Great character from Newcastle to handle the flying start from the team at the top of the table.
Well, one of the things that's happened with North Sydney, in my opinion, is that Mario Fennett really has only taken the ball forward a couple of times. He sold a good dummy, which ended up nothing coming from it. One of their players held back. But he's got to take the ball up more. He's got to do some more hit-ups.
North would have been thrown out somewhat by those changes they had planned to make Andrew Johns 70% this season. Hooks it too much. Locked together, 10 apiece. Now Norths are trying to get it, or the message out there from their coach, Peter Louis, to make those changes. Ivan Cleary is out there in 14, and Caruana is coming off the field. Great set-up play there from McCormack for that try. State of origin hooker. Don't forget that. Interesting to see, Jacko, what sort of changes this will cause to the North Sydney backline.
Well, what will happen is that Ivan Cleary will go into the left wing. David Hall will move into left centre. And that's basically it.
Well, Jacko, that's something major, though, to handle, because I said at the top here before the kickoff to this one that North's lineup has virtually been unchanged from the start of the season.
Well, that's been one of their great strengths this year, is their injury-free run. And also, Chris Caruana has been causing a lot of problems out here this afternoon. I wonder if David Hall can provide the same troubles for Newcastle.
Well, Sargent is providing plenty of trouble right up the middle. The Bears dropping off tackles. There'll be the concern from their big crowd here, the big home crowd, that unbeaten record is well and truly under fire. Great kick from Andrew Johns. Bit of a smile as his pack knows that they pick up some important territory, plus a rest as they walk to this one. 6 missed tackles against North Sydney. Darren Tracy, sideline for Newcastle. Hoppy. They'll be looking to one of their backs to take off the heat. Billy Moore quickly from the scrum.
Well, Fennick's got to get himself involved in this area as well. He's got to drive out. He's got to use that head forward style of running of his and bounce a few of them out of the way.
You mean, in other words, a battering ram style?
Yep, well, that's what he does best.
Taylor takes his time. They have the penalties, 5-2 North. .45 out from the Newcastle line. Taylor to Stewart. Great tackle from Harrigan. Powerful front rower. They throw them back to the 50. Now that's tremendous defense. Tony Ray tries to pick up what they've lost. Stewart again. There is some terrific tackling coming in from this Newcastle pack. Tony Ray lost it for a moment. Fairly back to Florimo. They've only gone about 15 metres so far since that tap restart. Taylor to Fennick. Well and truly upended. Still managed to get it clear. Chance here wide for North Sydney. Quick ball out to Hoppy. Taken by Ainscough and also Russell Wire. Last tackle. Taylor has been bombing away with precision. That ball was not so good and has gone forward, says McCallum. So they fail to finish the set of 6.
Well, McCallum looked out across it all at the Newcastle defence in that area. None of them were back 10 metres. You can see from the picture there. Should have been a penalty to North Sydney.
Now, there was no call on that instance from a touch judge. So McCallum again, being the senior man. Godden. Fennick is starting to get a little bit too high in that tackle. McCormick. Ainscough. On hands and knees out near the 40. Tried to milk it for a penalty. Could nearly have been penalised himself for taking it a long way off the original mark. Harrigan. If they're doing one thing wrong, Newcastle, they're nearly overrunning the play of the ball area, putting a lot of pressure on the dummy half. Standing a little bit too flat at times. Glanville's not flat. Neither's Barnes as he goes back to Matthew Johns, and that is offside. Billy Moore picking that up in an offside position.
Well, this is just one of those things, a bit of bad luck here. The ball reflected there off Ivan Cleary. Billy Moore picked it up, touch and go whether he was offside, but just one of those bad luck things.
Glanville just outside the 20. Butterfield. I don't know what they feed them up in Newcastle.
Well, these North Sydney Bears, they're not too comfortable with Newcastle running straight at them. They don't like it.
O'Davis. Harrigan. They just throw themselves into the line, these Knights. Dummy runners. And nearly sneaking through again is Matthew Johns. McCormick from dummy half. The Bears are wilting about 4 minutes out from half-time. Glanville. One more tackle. The Knights want try number 3. The Bears trying to hold them out. Andrew Johns threw it away. And it shows you the frustration when it's tight and tough between two good teams. 2 sets of 6 tackles. Neither have been able to finish it off correctly.
It's pretty good defence, scrambling defence here from North Sydney, forcing this error. Really frustration come right in. Newcastle having to throw a speculator.
The thought was right. If the ball had been good, Wire was running into a gap. It's 10 apiece. Billy Moore to David Hall.
I mentioned about Mario Fennick before, Graham. I really believe he's got to get up and take the ball up like he's doing now. Never mind looking for someone to pass it to in that area. Just take these big, powerful Newcastle players on.
Well, Jacko, this big Newcastle set of 6 are absolutely relentless.
Exactly. Mario Fennick, again, signs of frustration there, Graham Lowe. He knows he hasn't done enough in this first half. He's trying to make up with the popping balls that just aren't on. Peter Louis will be filthy about that.
Newcastle with the scrum feed, 40 metres out, about 3 minutes remaining in the first 40. Glanville with a dummy. Well taken by Fairley. Tracy gets out there. Matthew Johns. Great step. And a great ball. Brilliant. There was not enough time as far as Norths were concerned. Only 3 minutes. They should have been able to shut them down. Fennick will think about the mistake. But no negatives here. How about the positive brilliance of Matthew Johns?
Well, Matthew Johns just attacking. Did about 3 side steps before he reached the line. Came up with a good ball to Butterfield, who's had a good game so far and's got a good try.
You can have who you like. You can have your Phil Blakes, your Alan Langers, your Ricky Stewart. You won't see any better than this. Absolutely bamboozled Gary Larson. What a one-hander. Butterfield in under the post. The Knights hit the front.
A real gift for Tony Butterfield, but that's a reward for a forward pack that is really rolling. 28 years of age. Tony Butterfield plays it tough. Doesn't often come up with a try. Surprisingly, already his second for 94. Right in front. They were down 10-0. That was because the Bears had scored 2 tries in 5 minutes. Well, the Knights said, we can improve on that. 3 tries in 19 minutes. This one converted for them to go from 10-0 down to a lead of 16-10. Terrific first 40.
Well, North Sydney's got themselves in a position where they haven't really been in very much this year. They very seldom have to come from behind, but they've got to dig deep. They're being totally outplayed in the forwards at the moment, and they've got to get those guys in the front 6 have got to work hard. Mario Fenech there, he knows he hasn't done enough. He's got to pull his finger out and get stuck in with some old-fashioned ruck play.
Glanville. That's all there is in the first 40. Tremendous comeback from Newcastle. The competition leaders in trouble. 7 straight wins. It may not be 8. They're down 16-10 back with more after this.